Okay, so now let's talk about changing the direction of our air. This is really important because, as I mentioned earlier, when we have our head joint, we are going to be blowing across the embouchure hole, but we're also partially going to be blowing down into the flute. And so it's really important as flute players that we are able to change the direction of our airstream at any time, okay? So let's do some awareness of it. Let's hold our hands up in front of our face, and what I want us to practice doing is blowing cold, fast air, like a birthday candle, right in the center of your hand, like this. Okay, I want you to be able to feel that air right here, and it should be cold and fast. Now, let's practice moving our air up to the top of our fingertips, okay? The way I'm going to do this is by moving my lips and a very small amount by moving my jaw. I'm not going to tilt my chin. Instead, I'm just going to do it by changing my lip shape. So watch here. I'm going to blow in the center and then move up to the top of my hand. Okay? And hopefully you can see that my lips are moving, and so I'm able to change the direction of the air. So instead of going straight out, it's going slightly up. Now let's go the other direction. I'm going to start right here in the center of my hand, and I'm going to move my air down so I can feel it all the way down here on my wrist. Okay? Okay, so you can see my jaw moves a little bit, and that's okay, but I want most of the movement to happen because I am adjusting my lips. So what I'd like you to do is hold your hand up, and I want you to practice. Start in the center of your hand and just practice blowing your air up and down and back up your hand so that you are really comfortable with this, like so. Okay, so I actually felt my air all the way down to my elbow because of how far down I blew it. So experiment with it. See how far up you can direct your air and how far down you can direct your air while still keeping your chin nice and level without ducking your head or lifting your chin like this. I'm going to show you a visual example now using my handy dandy pinwheel, okay? So as you can see, my pinwheel right now is facing so that when I push down on it, it spins, all right? And I'm going to do that with my air. So I'm going to point it towards me, and I'm going to first blow my air straight and see what happens. Okay, it spun a little bit, but not a whole lot. Now watch what happens when I direct my air down, practicing just like I did on my hand. Okay, it spun way faster, right? And that's part of the way you can practice directing your air. Same thing, I could flip it the other way and practice blowing up so that it spins this way. All right? Now, you might be thinking, gosh, why is it so important for me to be able to change the direction of my air? So let me demonstrate for you on the flute. So right here, I have my flute head joint, okay? And I'm gonna show you what happens to my sound as I change my air direction. I'm gonna start by blowing straight across, and then I'm going to work on blowing, I'm going to move my air up, and then I'm gonna move my air down, and I just want you to listen to the crazy things that happen. So, starting straight across. Okay? So you can hear there's a huge difference in the sound that my flute makes when I'm blowing my air in different directions. And I can continue to work on changing that simply by changing the direction that I'm blowing my air in. So what you can do to practice this, if you have a pinwheel, awesome, try it out. Otherwise, just hold your hand up and practice moving your air up and down your hand until you get really comfortable changing the direction that it moves in. And we're on our way to flute playing.